This is Chapter 13, Intruder in the Barn. Hello folks, welcome back to Storytime at Riverwood Cabin. I'm Rosie Boom and I'm reading to you from Where Lions Roar at Night, the first book in the Barn Chronicles. And this is Chapter 13, Intruder in the Barn. I'm feeling fit and strong, boasted Dad as he puffed out his chest and strutted around the kitchen, flexing his muscles. Josiah looked up from his breakfast and rolled his eyes. Yeah, right, Dad, he laughed. But Mum looked at her tall, strong husband and said, "You, my dear, are truly magnificent." Dad grinned at her. "Don't say that, Mum," groaned Millie, "or he'll never stop." Dad did a couple more poses for Mum before sitting down to have his breakfast. "It's all this wood splitting," he said. "Josiah, you too could have a body like mine if you did a bit more splitting." Joe's eyes rolled again, but Dad ignored them. "I think we should all go out this morning and have a good workout. Mum and the girls can keep picking up sticks while we men can do some splitting." "Why can't I split some wood?" said Millie. She was sick and tired of picking up sticks. "Well, I suppose you can," said Dad, "but you must wear good boots. I don't want anyone chopping off their toes." Mum gave a firm nod. "Absolutely. In fact, I think we should all wear gumboots or shoes whenever we go down on the meadow. There are still so many sticks and pieces of wood sticking up from the ground." All the kids groaned. No one liked wearing shoes. "Good idea," agreed Dad. "It wouldn't be much fun getting a piece of wood in your foot." Their wood pile was starting to look very impressive. Dad loved to look at it. "We've got enough wood here to last at least 3 years, he boasted, as they walked past it on their way to the meadow. "So why get more?" muttered Josiah as he slung his axe over his shoulder. Dad slapped him cheerfully on the back. "Waste not, want not. We'll be able to give plenty of wood away and maybe sell some." "And we're getting good exercise," added Sam. "Exactly," said Dad. "Great for the body." They reached the pile of chainsawed logs. "There are so many," groaned Millie. "It'll take forever." "We don't have to do it all today," said Dad. "But if we do a bit each day, we'll have it done in no time." Millie picked up the splitter and positioned a fat bit of wood on its end. "Just a minute, Millie," said Dad. "Haven't you forgotten something?" He stood looking down at her bare feet. Millie groaned. "I can be careful." "Absolutely not." Dad's voice was stern. "Go back to the barn and get your boots on." Millie stomped off, while Dad set up Sam and Jake with some easy bits of wood to cut for kindling. Soon the air rang with the thwang and thump of axes and splitters, and the sweet smell of macrocarpa swirled on the breeze. "Boy, you do a good job, Millie," said Dad appreciatively as he watched her split a large block of wood. "You can come down here any time and swing the axe, so long as you've got your feet covered." By the time Mum arrived back with the girls, a big pile of split wood lay scattered on the ground, and Sam and Jake had filled the big cane basket to overflowing with kindling. "Just in time," said Dad as he wiped the sweat off his brow. "Will you give us a hand to stack it all into piles so it can dry out?" "I'm sick of wood," said Ellie after a while. "I'll be glad when it's all done." "But Ellie, just think of how good it is for your..." He ran away laughing when Ellie flew at him. That afternoon, all work stopped at 4. It was time to get ready for the fancy dress birthday party for Mum's friend. Mum said that this time they were going to allow plenty of time to get ready, so she wasn't run ragged at the end of helping 5 others choose their costumes and get dressed. Samuel and Jacob were going to stay with G&G for the evening, so they had to be dropped off before the party too. Kate spent ages curling all the girls' hair and putting on their makeup. Mum scurried around ironing dresses and shirts and trying to organise Dad. "What shall I go as?" asked Dad for the umpteenth time. "What about a bodybuilder?" suggested Josiah. "Very funny, Joe." "What about Zorro?" said Sam. He loved dressing up as Zorro. "Great idea," cried Dad. "Rose, can you make me a mask and cape?" It was a big rush at the end, but when they gathered in the lounge, Mum exclaimed, "Look at our beautiful girls, Chris. They look like princesses, Cinderellas from the barn." Josiah came in and the little boys giggled. He wore Dad's old leather hat, a bandana around his mouth, some old jeans with a gun holster slung from his belt. "You look cool, Joe," said Sam. "What about me?" Dad gave his cape a twirl. He was dressed all in black and had managed to find one of Sam's old masks and black bandanas. "You look magnificent," said Mum. "Save me a dance, won't you?" Zorro gave her an exaggerated bow. "With pleasure, señorita." It was well past midnight when the family finally got back to the barn. Jake and Sam were wide awake after being picked up from G&G's. Everyone piled out of the car except for Mum and Millie. "We'll wait until you turn on the lights," said Mum. "I'm exhausted," groaned Millie. "I can't move." A few moments later, Sam ran towards the car, shouting, "Don't come in, Mummy! There's a possum inside!" Millie shot out of the car. Angel and Lucy were running in circles around the kitchen, yapping in high, frenzied voices. High above them, perched in the rafters, sat a plump possum, staring down at them with large, round eyes. "Just as well I've got a gun now," said Dad. Sam ran back to the car. "Dad's going to shoot it!" Mum blocked her ears and looked away. Bang! The barn rattled with the sound of the gun. The possum fell with a crash onto some dirty plates sitting in the sink, shattering them into dozens of pieces. Then it rolled off the bench and into the rubbish tin. The rubbish tin rocked wildly as the possum jumped around inside it. It crashed onto its side. The possum sprang out from the rubbish and began running crazily around the barn. Millie screamed and jumped up onto the stairs. Angel went crazy, chasing the possum as it ran around and around. Lucy, who didn't know what to do, followed her mother, yapping frantically. "Someone open the door!" shouted Dad. The second the possum saw the open door, it ran outside, Angel hot on its heels. She quickly caught it by the neck, gave it a shake, and then all was still. She looked proudly up at Dad. "Good girl, Angel," said Dad, and she smiled and sneezed. Sam went back to the car. "You can come in now, Mum." Mum was still sitting in the car with her hands over her ears. "Are you sure, Sam? Is it all over?" Sam nodded. He knew how much Mum hated seeing things being killed. They walked towards the barn and Mum carefully screened her eyes from the body on the drive. "You should have seen it, Mum," shouted Millie. "It smashed the plates and—" "It's all right, Millie," said Mum. "I heard the racket from out in the car. I don't really want to know about it anyway." Dad gave a loud laugh. "Come on, Rose. They're pests. You can't really feel sorry for them." "I know," said Mum, "but I don't want to watch it or hear about it. And that's that. Now let's clean up this mess. I want to get to bed."